guys? I'm J-Man, and today let's talk about probably one of the most underrated classics, M. Night Shyamalan's The Village. As most of us know, the movie was not exactly a box office success, but it definitely has a strong group of supporters. So I was watching this one day, and I noticed something that I've kind of always wondered about. You see, every once in a while, the movie occasionally shows shots of empty chairs, just sitting all by their lonesome, nobody sitting in them or anything. Even in the background of shots, they occasionally make an appearance. And maybe you could say that they just needed something in between transitions, or something to complete the set to make it look more mid-19th century, but knowing Shyamalan, it's probably there for a significant reason. And I'll tell you what I think it is. This is Now, first of all, as crazy as it may sound, the wooden chair has a lot of meanings to it. You might think of an elder person sitting in it contemplating life, or a mother or grandmother cradling a child in their arms, or someone mourning the loss of a loved one. In a word, the wooden chair represents innocence, which is one of the main themes of the movie.
It was set in the 1800s because I wanted to write about innocence. You know, that was kind of what motivated me to spend this much time making this movie in this world. It felt like there was still innocence and people spoke with truth in their voice and said what they felt.
Now, if there's anyone watching who doesn't know the main twists of the movie, I recommend you stop watching here because there will be spoilers from here on out. So the first big secret is that the village is one big lie, and it actually takes place in modern times. The reason for this is because the elders all suffered through some kind of loss and heartbreak, so they created the village to basically escape from it and to live in their own special place, away from the evils of the world.
There is no one in this village who has not lost someone irreplaceable, who has not felt loss so deeply that they question the very merit of living at all.
The empty chairs in the film have two significances, mainly that they foreshadow the main twists of the movie. The way the movie starts is with the death of August Nicholson's son. Then later, when Lucius brings him wood for his fire, he sits in a chair, clearly grieving his loss. By this, we can conclude that specifically the rocking chair represents grieving and expressing sorrow.
The moment I heard my daughter's vision had finally failed her, and that she would forever be blind, I was sitting in that very chair. I was so ashamed.
Usually, whenever we see an empty rocking chair, it's around any of the elders, or on their property, etc. This foreshadows the twist about the elders because it shows that they are choosing not to grieve and mourn, and are not innocent somehow. They are literally shunning their troubles, more specifically, locking them away. Avoiding them altogether so they won't have to deal with them, and maybe even hope that they just go away. After Noah stabs Lucius, he sits in the rocking chair, wearing the bad color, showing that innocence has now been tainted and that evil deeds follow them everywhere, even in their little paradise.
We can move towards hope. It's what's beautiful about this place. We must not run from heartache. You know, my brother was slain in the towns. The rest of my family died here. Heartache is a part of life. We know that now. Ivy's running toward hope. Let her run.
You could even argue that the stabbing was the elders' fault as well as Noah's, because if they had given him medicines from the town that would have helped with his condition, it might not have happened. Then again, nothing can really cure jealousy, but it definitely would have helped somehow. The second significance is with the foreshadowing of Noah being the main antagonist. In the same way, sitting in the chair represents innocence, and not sitting in it represents guilt. The first time we see an empty chair in the film, it's in the house where Noah is held for punishment. Ivy decides not to let him sit in it under the condition that he not hit anyone ever again. Later on in the film, we sometimes see empty chairs after Noah has done something bad. So just from this, we can say that the empty chair symbolizes Noah's guilt, and he's getting away with it because the rest are inadvertently allowing him to. Which is another way of the film saying that if you hide from or shut out your troubles altogether, they will find you and make a way to appear again.
You may run from sorrow as we have. Sorrow will find you.
And that's what the film is all about in my view. You can't just ignore your problems or invent a way to shut them out completely. You have to confront them, and only then will you truly be at peace. To quote David Archuleta, I started to realize how many great things could happen by confronting the things that scare you most.
There's no courage without fear. Face the thing you fear, and fear will leave you. Don't permit fear to control your life, not even for 5 minutes.
So that was my take on the significance of the empty chairs. Now, what other kind of symbolism do you guys think this movie has? Whatever it is, don't be shy, leave a reply. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and please support me on my Patreon account. All links are down below. And if you like this video, you can like, comment, and subscribe to the J-Man. Keep looking deep.